So today's video, slurry tanker. We've pulled her up into position. We are going to do a little bit of getting ready for the coming slurry season. Bit of a wash down, bit of grease, check the oil, make sure you've enough oil in the pump. Bit of grease work to be done around the dribble bow. And yeah, basically, bit of maintenance, get her ready to rock. Hopefully, weather permitting, maybe next week might get some slurry out. It's looking like it's going to be good next week, so we'll see how that works out. But yeah, let's get going on it. First thing we're going to do is apply a bit of detergent. I have a little applicator here that I use for the job. The detergent is just standard detergent. I can show you what it is. It is there it is there. It is that super high foam stuff made by Concept, and yeah, works well. Dilute it down about 2 to 1 in water, so 2 parts water to 1 part Concept, and it works well. So we'll spray it on it now, leave it on it for about an hour or so, and then we'll get the power hose going and get our wash down. So, detergent is all on and soaking in there now. Just have it all sprayed on. So we'll leave it for about an hour or so, and it'll start to loosen up all this thick stuff. But yeah, you can see it there already. It's starting to work, and hopefully it'll take all the muck and grime, because it would have been washed a couple of times last year, but it wasn't washed. Once we're finished with it, it just kind of sat there over the whole winter. So yeah, a bit of a freshen up will do it no harm. Get a hose down, and yeah, might set up. I think I have the GoPro strap, so let's stick it on my head. Haven't used that in about 2 years, and if I can find it, and I'll get a bit of footage of just washing it down. Alright, so before we get started, safety first with the eyes. Pair of DeWalt safety glasses. If anybody walks in and sees me with these on and a GoPro on my head, they'll think I'm bloody touched. Could be right too. Alright, so we have washed it down, and it has freshened up a little bit, but it is getting very faded, which, well, kind of knew that it was. The tank, you can see it there. It's getting a bit white of itself. Look, you could buff it, but I don't know. I think we're threatening to paint it for the last couple of years, and I think that's going to happen. You know, there's a bit of sandblasting needing done on it as well. You can see underneath the mudguards, there's a bit of rust in there, so we'll probably pop the wheels off it when we're doing it and sandblast that, and yeah, just give it a tidy up, because it is a good tanker, and we're going to hold on to it. We're not going to be getting rid of it. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. You can see on the top that black, just especially on this side here, it's worse on this side even than the other side. Doesn't want coming off, even with the detergent, and it mixed up fairly strong. Doesn't want taking it off. It's not as bad on this side, but the other side, a lot of black on it. But it is what it is, you know. It'll have to do for now. So that's that. The next job we're going to do is hitch it onto the tractor, and we'll stretch out the dribble bow. We'll do the grease points on it. We'll do grease the PTO shaft and check the tanker itself, the pump for oil, and yeah, we should be more or less good to go. Check tyre pressures as well, but they shouldn't be too bad, but we will check them just to be on the safe side. But yeah, that'll be it, ready to wrap. Alright, so leaving the tanker for now, we are mowing silage. Why are we mowing silage in February? Well, not by choice. This was supposed to be mowed out at the end of last year, but because the weather didn't play ball with us, didn't get it mowed. So this field here is usually a part of our first, second and second cut silage for the pit. What we usually do after the second cut, we just slurry it, gets no fertiliser, just give it a go in a slurry, let it grow on until the end of September into October, and the end of October it is mowed out, or sorry, end of September, early October, mowed out, left for a couple of days in the ground, baled up, and it goes, we usually then just give some of the bales to the cows. So works out well enough. The problem was that last year, with the way the weather turned out, we never got this done. So yeah, it was really wet. There's a river at the bottom of this which always encroaches out on the field, comes up almost halfway up the field, and that's what it done. So we ended up with no chance to really get bales made on it. But yeah, what do you do? The weather itself then stayed wet all the way through. We didn't get a chance to mow it at any stage after that, right up until the last couple of weeks. Like, it started to get a little bit of a respite with the weather. It's one of the worst ends to last year and beginnings to this year that I've seen. Like, for 4 months we've very little dry spells. So yeah, it has dried out fairly well. There's a couple of dampish areas down here where are always damp, but for the most part a lot of the field isn't too bad. So yeah, we're going to mow it out today. We'll leave it then for, weather's good right up I think around the weekend, so we'll let it sit for 2 or 3 days and we'll bale it up then, and yeah, it should be okay. So really let the ground dry a little bit. The actual grass itself is completely dry. I'll show you that in a few minutes. Just when I finish I'll get out and show you, but yeah, it is fairly dry considering the time of year that it is. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So I'll get the drone up, I'll try and get a bit of footage, see how it goes. It's a bit windy, it's not the summertime, it's going to be a bit dull. It is what it is.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go.
Alright, so we're just finished off mowing, and it's just starting to lose a little bit of brightness here now. The darkness is starting to set in. It's around 5 o'clock in the evening. I did try to delay it as long as I could, just to give the grass a chance to just have it as dry as possible. So that's kind of why we're just about beating daylight. Yeah, more work 100%. I didn't really do much to grease drive shafts of it, and a few shots of grease in some of the larger bearings in it. Didn't change any knives or anything like that, because look, it didn't have to be pristine job done on it, but it's cut it well enough, so happy enough with that. Used the 215 on it, just to try and use it a wee bit. I haven't actually drove it that much. I cracked a few loads of potatoes with it and a few wee jobs like that, but haven't used it that much in the last number of months. So Dad was actually doing a lot of the collection stuff, so he's more used to probably driving it than I am, but nice to get using it again. And it is a lovely tractor, so it is a bit overkill on the moor, I suppose, but when you have it there, you're not going to use it. Like diesel wise, it's using around the same as the 6.9. we were using between 14 and 16 litres an hour while mowing, so you know, it's no harder to run. It's here and I'm going to use it. Also the GPS was a super job on it. A bit of tricking just to get, I'm trying to get used to it as well. You know, it's like everything, especially when you put a different machine on, settings are a wee bit different. It's trying to get everything up and running, just get everything adjusted. So the first half of the field I was nearly tricking with that and just trying to get used to it and trying different things with it. So getting in on it, but again, I'll have to, it'll be the springtime when you start using it, all different jobs, that you'll really get in on it. Yeah, ground is a little bit sticky, so it'll be no harm to give it a couple of days of drying. You can see there, even just walking on it, it's a bit on the sticky side everywhere, and then down the river it is a wee bit damp in a few places. So, but I didn't track it or do anything really on it. The grass is nice and dry, you see it there. So yeah, give it a couple of days and we'll bait it up and see what it's like. It's not going to be, as I said, not going to be the greatest stuff in the world, but if it ends up that this is a dry spell we're going to get now for the next week or two, and it's going to turn wet again and we can't get cattle out until April or later, you'll be happy to have it as some sort of form of feed. So yeah, that's the plan. So as we'll probably end on this video, we are going to be going out at Slurry this week. We have barley to bust as well, and have a demo coming as well, which should be a bit of fun. I think it's actually coming tomorrow in the morning, Tuesday morning. So if it comes, well and good. I'll be doing a video on that. We'll look around on it and all different stuff. So there'll be lots of videos on that when it comes. So that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Definitely a little bit strange to have silage mode in February, but we are who we are, and it'll be good to get it done and dusted if the weather stays dry. Don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit the sub button, leave a like on the video if you can at all. Comment down below any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section. And yeah, that's really it. We'll see you at the weekend. Have a good week. Take care.